Commence firing. Load, shell, 900 yards, load.
Load, shell, 900 yards.
What you'll see is you'll see the commands repeated. You imagine multiple guns on the field, all the commotion and the smoke. All the commands are repeated from the gun commander to the limber attendants who prepare the rounds to be delivered to the gun. All those commands are given by the battery commander. A typical Confederate battery would be 4 guns. So what you would see in the field would be 4 guns and 4 limbers. The limber chest and the limber is attached to each gun where all the fixed ammunition is stored for each individual gun. You'll see the powder runners at this point delivering the rounds to the gun commander. I gave a fictitious command, load shell 900 yards. That told them they're going to load basically exploding shell. They're going to fuse it for 900 yards. That was the responsibility of the limber attendants to prepare those rounds. They're taken to the gun commander. He will inspect and make sure that round has been prepared to the commands that were given. The rounds are then delivered to the front of the gun where they're inserted into the gun. The charges are rammed or pushed into the breech of the gun all the way to the back of the gun, which you're doing at this point. You'll see the gun commanders at that point, once that round is set, he will step in and sight the piece. Basically, he has control. He knows his target. He's going to change the elevation, change the windage of the gun. You'll see the number 3 person come around to the trail spike, and any commands that are given, he would adjust the windage left and right of that piece.
Ready.
Now the ready command is given. You'll see 3 and 4 step in. They're going to pick that powder bag. Basically, during the Civil War, that powder bag was muslin or linen material that had the gunpowder in it. They pick a hole in it. They'll put a friction primer in it. It's basically a charge, like a small 22, if you will,
Gun 1
of
ready.
fulminated mercury with a pin in it. As the pin is pulled, it creates a spark, ignites that powder, and sends that flash down into the vent hole. Firing by the battery! Fire! Now those are 2 pieces. Okay, you can imagine a 4-gun battery. In the Federal service, a battery was made up of 6 guns. 6 guns, 6 limbers, 6 teams of horses, 6 men to crew them, all the supporting role. You can see how fast a large group of men would be assembled for an artillery type group. So, like I said, we're 2 rounds. The command was firing by the battery. If I had 4 guns, I could basically separate them by left sections and right sections. I could fire them or oblique them depending on which way the enemy was coming to me. So I would take an overall look of the field. I could tell where the enemy was coming from, and I could oblique guns and fire them in different directions. I could fire the center pieces while I'm moving the end pieces. It gives me a lot of control to maneuver and control those pieces on an individual basis. Or if I had a large massive infantry coming at me, I could fire all guns at one time. I could fire canister. Okay? Now during the Civil War, there were 2 basic types of artillery. You had the field or light artillery, which was the artillery you see in front of you, or the heavy and the siege guns that you would see at seacoast ports. Basically, that were fixed mortars, fixed large-scale artillery pieces that were there to protect ports. The lighter field artillery, like you see here, or horse artillery, was just that. It was pulled by a team of horses. If the limber pole, you can see the limber chest right here. There's a limber pole extending out from it. A team of 4 horses were limbered up to that pole to move that gun. On the back of the gun, there's a circular item on the back called the lunette. Basically, it would spin around and hook on the back of the limber the pintle hook, like we have today. A pintle hook with a clamp. These guns were limbered very similar to what we use today. So the horse team would pull the limber and the gun, and a team of 4 horses were utilized to do that. The pieces that we have here on the field, as Tom mentioned, a model 1857 Napoleon smoothbore 12-pound gun. Smoothbore meaning it wasn't rifled. The accuracy of that piece was a lot less accurate than what you see here on your left. That was a 10-pound Parrott, an 1861 10-pound Parrott, a rifled gun. 2.9-inch diameter, roughly 3-inch bore, rifled to throw that projectile with a full charge up to 2 miles, effectively up to 2 miles. The effective range on the Napoleon is about 15 to 1,700 yards. Most effective for canister. Does anybody know what canister shot is? Anybody heard the term canister? I can show you